Hey good people, welcome to the channel. I'm Musically Malnourished and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists, and that is what we are doing indeed today. This is going to be a new experience for me. This is the 2025 album from Bad Bunny titled DeBÍ TiRAR MáS FOToS, which translates to I should have taken more pictures. This was voted in by our Patreon community, so thank you to everybody over there. If you want access to hundreds of hours of additional content from dozens of artists and to help decide what we listen to next, feel free to check out my Patreon. Okay. Like I said, this is going to be a new experience for me. Number one, I have no experience with Bad Bunny. Number two, I have no experience with Spanish music, and I know this one particularly is Puerto Rican. I did watch the short film. One of my Patreon members actually sent me this documentation that they have for the album, and it's broken down in every song as well, and translation of the lyrics from them as somebody who knows the language and speaks the language. So we'll be utilizing this along with our normal stuff on genius.com. You know, we'll kind of flip-flop between the two just to get a good picture of everything. But obviously, as we're listening, I'm not going to know any of the lyrics. He did recommend watching the short film because he said it really doesn't spoil anything for the album and kind of helps set up the album, and I 100% agree. So I have watched that. That will go up on Patreon with the music videos, live performances, all that good stuff. Man, if you haven't seen the short film, you should. It's really moving. It's really beautifully shot. And kind of where I came to with it was it is a lamenting of a culture that feels like it's slipping away. It's an old man in Puerto Rico going into the city. The city has changed. There's all these kind of different types of music that he doesn't recognize. There is him not being treated very well, and then him just running into kind of some modern things that I think that's the point, right? This lamenting of a culture that in a place that he once knew. I think it is also sets up this album, and maybe what Bad Bunny's mission is to celebrate the culture that he knows, try to bring it more into the light, because I think it's important, you know, that we have all these different sounds, these different cultures, these ways of life that we are able to celebrate and recognize, and they all kind of have their place. So it'll be really interesting to get into this. Looking forward to it. This is probably the longest intro that I've done, but I wanted to set it up correctly and kind of let you know how I'm approaching it. Hopefully this works out well. You know, this will be a totally new experience for me, and I think it's going to be a good time though. So we're going to get in, give each song a listen, make a few comments along the way, but I'll be keeping some notes in my handy dandy notebook. Probably won't have too many notes. I'll mainly only be able to comment on kind of the sound and the feeling that I get. And it'll be cool because I kind of disconnect my brain while listening because I literally cannot understand what's being said. And then we'll get to experience on the other side. Oh, and I think based on the short film, because the whole point was that this elderly gentleman said he wishes he had taken more photos. He only has a handful of photos. He tried to live in the moment at the time, but now that he's older, it's harder to remember. And there is this Toad character, which I think was played by Bad Bunny. I'm not sure. It's stop motion. They did such a great job. But the kind of end of the film was, let's go in, let's look at the photos you have. But he also wants to try to tell the stories of the photos that he didn't take. And so I'm wondering if that's kind of how this album's going to go, is these stories of either somebody's life or just the culture in general, and him kind of recounting the stories to this Toad. If you want to go to a specific track, timestamps are in the description as always. But other than that, I'm going to stop yapping. We're going to get this thing started. This is track 1. I'm going to need my documentation to help me with this. The title meaning is New York, pronounced NUEVAYoL. Sorry. And listen, if I get these pronunciations wrong, I am so sorry ahead of time. I am trying. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Oh, you know what I just remembered? The scrolling lyrics here actually have English translations, so they may not be perfect, and obviously we can look back over some things, but I think it'll actually be helpful too, because we can kind of follow some of the story and what's going on. So that's cool. Totally forgot about that. All right, are you ready? Here we go.
Si te quieres divertir con encanto y con primor, solo tienes que vivir un verano en Nueva York.
Nueva York.
Si te quieres divertir con encanto y con primor,
¿Pero qué es esto?
solo tienes que vivir.
Dude, this blending of old and new is really cool.
Un ratito nada más. Ey, ey, ey. 4 de julio, baile y Ulay. Ando con mi prima borracha Rulay. Los míos en el Bronx, saben la que hay. Con la nota en hoy, por Washington hoy. Willy Colón me dicen el malo. Ey, porque pasan los años y sigo dando palos. Tendiendo discos como cuadro Frida Kahlo. El perico es blanco, sí, sí, el tusi racista. No te confundas, no, no, mejor evita. Ey, un shot de cañita en casa de Toñita. Y PR se siente cerquita, sí, sí, sí. Tengo el campeonato, nadie me lo quita.
Cerveza Nuevo, number one de Cerveza Nuevo, ¿ok? Puerto Rico.
Como Bad Bunny va a ser rey del pop, ey, con reggaeton y dembow, ey, con reggaeton y dembow, sí, con reggaeton y dembow. Como Bad Bunny va a ser rey del pop, ey, con reggaeton y dembow. Me siento como el lápiz en capa del dough. Cuando yo nací fue que nació el flow de low a low. Ping pong, flow pesado, Big Pong, con silenciador le robamos las gatas. J-Bone, ey, la mía no tengo adversario, no. Con los Yankees los me aguanzato. A correr que otra vez la sacamos al estadio.
Is that like 007 silencer sound? Goldeneye?
Con encanto y con primor, solo tienes que vivir.
Ya mismo nos vamos.
We gotta loosen up a little.
Cuidado que nadie nos escuche. Cuidado que nadie nos escuche. Cuidado que nadie nos escuche. Cuidado. Tú tienes piquete, mami, yo también. Tú estás buena, yo estoy bueno también. Huelo rico y ando con los de 100. Si tú lo quieres, lo tienes que mover. Tú tienes piquete, mami, yo también. Tú estás buena, yo estoy bueno también. Huelo rico y ando con los de 100. Si tú lo quieres, lo tienes que mover. Lo tienes que mover.
With the distorted bass.
Lo tienes que mover. Lo tienes que mover.
Okay, well, we're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be fun to listen to for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the different types of music, you know. I'm assuming, because most people in an album, this is a 17-song album, wild. There's obviously gonna be a lot of flows, and so I have no idea thematically where we're going. I have no idea sonically where we're going, but this was really cool, man. I'm assuming one of the things that Bad Bunny's doing, not that he would be the first, but maybe kind of bringing it into the forefront, is this fusion of the very like modern sound with also I guess more classical sounds, Puerto Rican music. And him even talking in there is like, how am I going to be the king of pop with reggae? And what was the other one that he said? We'll get in here in a second and look. But I think that was the thing, is like the questioning, how are you going to be king of pop if you're using these sounds? And it's kind of like, well, watch me, you know, it's going to be irresistible, essentially. Okay, obviously there were some references and things in there that I'm not familiar with. But let's go to this document first. The musical style, Dembow, I don't know. Let's look at this real quick. It's gonna be nice and educational too. Okay, fast, high-energy style of Latin urban music from the Dominican Republic that evolved from dancehall and reggae. It uses a rapid, repetitive percussion pattern, heavy bass, raw street vocals. Well, and they even had that where they came in sounding almost like car bass, you know? It's just like pushing it past its limit. Okay. Named after the 1990 Jamaican dancehall song Dembow by Shabba Ranks. Now, this may seem stupid, but I'm okay looking stupid. reggaeton and reggae, are they different? Because I don't want to be saying reggae if it's reggaeton. Reggae and reggaeton share Caribbean roots. They're different genres. Okay, reggae, slow, organic Jamaican style with spiritual or social messages. Reggaeton is a fast electronic Latin dance style built on a heavy dembow beat. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up so that I didn't keep saying reggae when it's its own unique thing. Okay, so he says the intro is a bombastic and braggadocious anthem featuring a sample from the 1975 salsa hit Un Verano in Nueva York by El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico. The song celebrates the deep connection between Puerto Rico and New York and makes references to many famous New Yorkers of Puerto Rican descent, including salsa artist Willie Colon, rapper Big Pun, 5-time MLB All-Star Juan Soto, and world champion boxer Felix Tito Trinidad. Okay, and I think we picked up on a lot of the lyrical content throughout. I don't know if it's going to stay that way all the way on Apple's platform, because it looked like even in the next song, maybe there was not a translation, but wherever we have it, we'll use it. Yeah, and it sounded like they actually, I've heard silencers a lot, you know, in different music, especially in rap and hip hop. And I've made the comment before, like, oh, I wonder if they were using the silencer from GoldenEye back on Nintendo 64. And usually the answer is no, it's just like a stock sound. This actually sounded like it had that like sharp that you get from the GoldenEye one. So I'd be curious if they actually were using either that sound or something very close to it as opposed to just a stock silencer sound. Okay, and then the connections here, play for the Yankees and Mets, like saying Juan Soto, better start running because we knocked it out the park. Yeah, flow is heavy like Big Pun. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. How's Bad Bunny going to be the king of pop with reggaeton and dembow? And then he goes in, he's like, nah, dude, it's irresistible. Okay, cool. Let's hop over here for a second, see if there's anything different. Benito opens the album by paying homage to Un Verano in Nueva York by El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, Andy Montanez, one of the hits of Puerto Rican salsa from the 70s, which managed to expand with the hits to the United States and cities like New York. Inspired by the salsa, Bad Bunny surprisingly transforms it into a dembow. Okay, listen, I gotta look up, because I think this is going to come up a lot, like how to properly pronounce this. Dembow. Pronounce dembow as dembow. Stress the second syllable. Bow, which sounds like bow, or the English word dough. Cool. Dembow. Got it. Okay, thus giving it a more urban touch and experimenting in one of the genres in which he has shown himself to feel most comfortable. Lyrically, he mixes Puerto Rican, Dominican references. Okay, this song was one of the last 3 that were revealed by Spotify. In the campaign they carried out to give clues about the track list, in which for each song they gave coordinates that fans had to search for on Google Maps. The coordinates of NUEVAYoL were, okay, that's cool. Always like a creative rollout. It'd be interesting too to see that if he worked with primarily the same people on a lot of these tracks. So Justy Barrero, La Paciencia, and Mag. So we'll try to keep some of that in mind and see, you know, if it changes between songs. All right, good stuff. They have an official video for it, so that'll be fun. If it's anything, man, if the video content is anything like that short film, it's going to be top, dude. They did such a great job on it. All right, let's get into track 2. VeLDÁ PERFuMITO. Guys, I'm sorry. It's probably so painful for any of you that actually know how to speak the language. But the title meaning is I'm gonna take you back to Puerto Rico.
Ay, PR es otra cosa.
That kind of sounded like the Toad voice from the short film.
Yo la conocí en Miami, en Brickell. Ella sabe que aquí hay ticket. Quiere que yo se la
All right, no translation. We're just listening.
se la trafique. Voy a llevarte pa' PR, mami, pa' que veas cómo es que se perrea. Tráete a tu amiga si te gusta la idea. Dile que esta noche vamos a janguear. Qué rico la vamos a pasar. Aquí nadie se va a casar, pero tú te vas a querer quedar. Ay, aprovecha que estoy soltero. Single, mírame mal si quieres que te singa. Te voy a llevar pa' PR todo el finde. Después de mí vas a borrar Tinder. Y estoy suelto, mami, estoy suelto. Mírame ahora perreando un experto. Estoy suelto, mami, estoy suelto. Ay, ay, ay. Hoy la calle está prendida, juga pastilla molida. Yo no pierdo tiempo, yo las cambio como Rosalía. La que me mira a los ojos por 5 segundos, ya yo sé que es mía. ¿Dónde están las malas? Que son bienvenidas. Tipo está perdido. Dime si tú lías, tu amiguito, el corillo están bien rica, pero ese culo tuyo, wow, sobresalía. Salimos de la disco y estaba de día. Obviamente salí con la que quería. Ey, que viva la putería.
Dude, the production's so good.
Tan chulería, ey. Dime si te vas a montar. A la isla tengo el portal. Bien borrachos los tres. Baby, a las dos me las voy a llevar. Oh, oh, me quiere besar. Ja, yo que la puse mal. Tírate fotita ahora.
It's almost like they take it underwater.
Yeah. Voy a llevarte pa' PR, mami, pa' que veas cómo es que se perrea. Tráete a tu amiga si te gusta la idea. Dile que esta noche vamos a janguear. Qué rico la vamos a pasar. Aquí nadie se va a casar, pero tú te vas a querer quedar. Yeah, yeah. Sí, sí. Esto es PR, mami. Aquí nací yo y el reggaetón pa' que sepa. Ay, ay, voy cazando y muero perreando. Voy cazando y muero perreando.
Okay, got the siren.
Y muero perreando. Que bailen todas las gatas, no fuimos al garete. Estás escuchando el que más le mete. Dale mami, suéltate el grillete. Ponte en cuatro que te voy a dar fuerte. Ponte en cuatro que te voy a dar fuerte.
I was checking to see if there's transitions with that. Okay, I love the percussion elements that were in there. And I think it was just the snare, but the sound was a little bit different, especially on those cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. They only did it maybe 3 times within the track, but it almost sounded like a trash can as opposed to the snare hit that was pretty consistent throughout it. But yeah, man, they're just ebbing and flowing. They did this in the first song too, between all these different things and kind of using these effects, you know, to bring the music down and quiet, and his voice stays prominent in the front and then back out. There's just a lot of cool things going on here musically. So let's take a look. Old school reggaeton. Oh shoot, I gotta do this again, huh? Pronunciations. But now hopefully we'll know for life. Reggaeton.
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 Reggaeton. Okay. Thank you. So, the musical style, old school reggaeton. The first reggaeton track on the album is a joyful party anthem dedicated to Bad Bunny's single life status. The production captures the festive spirit of the island and calls back to the old school reggaeton Benito grew up listening to. The song ends with an interpolation of the 2002 track Cazando Voy by duo Chris y Angel. Oh, Chris and Anel, featuring the genre titan Hector the Father. So lyrics, man, Puerto Rico is something else. I met her in Miami, in Brickell. She knows we've got money here, wants me to make a move on her, wants me to sneak her back to my place. Gonna take you back to Puerto Rico, mommy, so you can see just how we get down. Bring your friend with you if you're into that. Tell her tonight we're having a party. How much fun we're gonna have. No one's getting married here, but you're not gonna wanna leave. Okay, so like we're not getting married, but it's not because Like, you're going to want to stay, not because we're getting married, but you're just going to enjoy it so much. Which is funny because he's like making his intentions known. He's like, I'm not trying to marry you. Shoot your shot while I'm single, eh? Give me the look if you want me to hit that. I'll take you back to Puerto Rico for the whole weekend. After you get with me, you'll delete Tinder. And I'm free, mommy. I'm on the loose. Look at me now, breaking it down like an expert. The streets are on fire tonight. Hookah, crushed pills. I don't waste time. I swat them out like Roselia. If we lock eyes for 5 seconds, I already know she's mine. Where the bad girls at, we love them here. I'm always down for some trouble. You in? Your girls, their whole crew are fine. But that of yours, wow, it stands out. It was already daytime when we left the club. I obviously left the girl I wanted. Hey, long live that hoe stuff. Throw it back. So much swag. Tell me if you're hopping in. I know the way to the island. All 3 of us are really drunk. Baby, I'm taking both of you back home. She wants to give me a kiss. I've really got her hooked now. Better take your little pictures while you can, because I'm about to mess up your hair. Gonna take you back to Puerto Rico. Okay. So then it repeated there. I'm on the prowl. You're listening to the best in the game. Come on, mommy, shake off your shackles. And then get on all fours because I'm gonna hit it hard. Okay. And then let's see here. Serves as the first reggaeton presented on the album, where Benito extends an invitation to a woman he's interested in to visit Puerto Rico with him and party. I think we picked up on most of the rest. So like the rest of the track list, the title of the song was revealed through Spotify. The coordinates were leading to an alleyway in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where the song's title could be seen on the metal shutter of a storefront. That's so much fun, man. Okay, we got different producers, so I'm assuming that's what we're going to see throughout this album, is a lot of different people on these tracks. Very good. All right, track 3, the title meaning is Unforgettable Dance. I'm going to save you guys the pain of me trying to pronounce these. If so gracious, he did provide these here, but I sound very stupid when I say them, and it's probably painful to listen to, so I'm going to spare you of that. But this is Unforgettable Dance.
Pensaba que contigo iba a envejecer.
Okay, now it's starting over.
Pensaba que contigo iba a envejecer. En otra vida, en otro mundo por hacer. En esta solo queda irme un día. Y solamente verte en el atardecer.
All right, different vibe coming into this one. His voice is great. You were my unforgettable dance. I love this.
Mientras uno está vivo, uno debe amar lo más que pueda.
Okay. So interesting. Yeah, the percussion's so good. This is such a well-constructed piece of music. It's cool, like live band setting. Yeah, I think one of the things that I'm kind of consistently talking about within this album is just the construction of the track is so great. You know, you have this very like kind of dark, melancholy intro that also soars, and then you get the voiceover, and then it drops into this just different style, same lyrics, same story going on there. And the horns are obviously doing an incredible job, but the percussion, man, it stands out so much to me. So many different little sounds, and then you can also hear the shaker in there, and then you got the piano. You get these kind of choir type. I don't know if choir is the best way to say it. Obviously, there's multiple voices kind of doing these. I don't know if that would be the chorus or more of like a refrain. But yeah, and I think the only thing with this track is I feel like it kind of dumbed down the lyrical quality a little bit and the heart behind it, because a lot of the things that are said in here are really beautiful. Like, I used to think we'd grow old together. In another life, in a different world, it could still happen. In this one, all that's left for me is to leave one day and only see you in the setting sun. You find me alone and sad, don't talk to me. If you find me alone and sad, it was my fault. Life's a party that one day comes to an end, and you were my unforgettable dance. This is such a beautiful line. The thought of a love that is lost being this unforgettable dance, this time we spent together, twirling and looking at one another and connecting, and obviously that's just in life, but it's put in this place of a dance, is so great. He even says, I lost my son and now I live on the moon. But then you contrast it with You Make Me Horny and My New Girlfriend Gives Good Head, but she doesn't have a mouth like yours. That's the only thing for me. I'm like, dude, you had such a good, just this beautiful thing happening, and it's like, oh, okay, you know, which whatever, it's Bad Bunny's thing. I just think for me, I'm like, man, I think if you could have leaned into that, talked about the times that you had together, her personality, her beauty, those different things, I just think would fit this so much better, and I think create just a complete beautiful song versus kind of minimalizing it to, you know, how she makes your dick feel. Okay. It's a tribute to salsa, so a musical style salsa, arguably the Caribbean's most iconic music genre. It's also a nostalgic, poetic, ultimately heartbreaking reflection on a past romantic interest whose love did not last, but nevertheless remains unforgettable. The production combines traditional instrumentation provided by young Puerto Rican musicians from the Independent School of Music with modern Latin, urban, and electronic elements. It was the first salsa song to reach #1 on the Apple Music charts. Very cool. Let's hop in here. Okay. Jacob Morales. Spoken by legendary Puerto Rican actor Jacobo Morales. This line serves as universal truth: love fully while you can, because life is short. His inclusion adds a cultural depth, making the message feel like a wise lesson from an elder. Well, that'd be cool, you know, for people that are aware of the culture, you know, to hear that voice, kind of have that connection. Oh, check it out. It is a refrain. Let's freaking go. All right. I don't think there's anything here we're really going to learn past what we've already done. So obviously the blending, rich percussion, horns, rhythmic piano progressions, while incorporating modern Latin urban elements. This makes a shift from Bad Bunny's signature reggaeton and trap sound, showing his versatile. This is a freaking American word. This is English, and I'm struggling. His versatility as an artist. The production, handled by Taney and Mag, so that's a name we've seen already, pays homage to classic salsa legends while maintaining a fresh contemporary feel. Okay, I won't read about the music video because I don't want to spoil anything. I am curious, some of these artists too, you know, if they primarily work with like these types of elements, or, I mean, you got him working with Flo Rida here. Done a lot of work with Bad Bunny, obviously, on past projects. A lot of work with Bad Bunny. All right, that's one of Bad Bunny's go-to guys. Brooklyn, Puerto Rican, Dominican producer, discovered by Max Martin. Yeah, well, that name matters. And then this one. Okay, this is all in Spanish. I don't recognize these names outside of, well, Cardi B. A lot of work with Bad Bunny. Justin Bieber. All right, very cool. Does it talk about the Spotify reveal? I don't see it. No, it doesn't. It doesn't tell us how they revealed that one. Okay. Let's get into track 4, the title meaning New Little Perfume.
Hoy salí de nuevo, pero ya quiero algo nuevo, creo. Si me ves por ahí ni me conoces. no sé. Cinderella después de las 12. Ya me convencí, vámonos de aquí. Que me gusta cómo huele y más cómo te mueves. Dime ya cuando voy a probar tu perfumito nuevo. La otra vez no te la vi, papi, sé que te la debo. Dime ya cuando voy a probar tu perfumito nuevo. Hoy estoy pa' ti, ¿qué vas a hacer si me pego?
Acabo de mirar el reloj y son las 1:16. Significa que ya no te voy a dar break. Sigue mirando así, sigue mirando así, sigue mirando. Que te lo pongo aquí mismo. Sigue bailando, mami, que te estoy midiendo el ritmo. No parece Leo ni Scorpio, pa' mí que ella tiene su propio signo. Fría, sentimental, está en temporada de portarse mal. A veces es difícil meditar y solo quiere gritar o buscarme pa' chingar y yo se lo voy a dar a la hora que sea. Si yo bajo pa' allá abajo va a subir la marea. Los ojitos se le marean. Baby, yo voy a hacer que tú creas. Diablo, tú eres una bellaquita igual que yo. Perfumito nuevo, tú hueles cabrón. El poquito te rompo el mon.
Dime ya
Cuando voy a probar tu perfumito nuevo. La otra vez no te lo di, mami, sé que te lo debo.
baby, tú eres una estrella, esa boca sabe a carambola. Fuego, desde que te vi me puse roja. Por los ojos me quitaste el traje. Te tengo bailando sin modales. Dale. Diantre, tú y yo somos iguales.
Got a beautiful voice.
Mañana le damos, de weekend en Cuamo. En la montaña te voy a hacer la rusa. Hey, ¿qué cojones que tú tienes que me pones musa?
Mami, tú te ves bien a mi lado. Si tú estás, yo no miro por el lado. 5-6 me tienes dominado. Me imagino contigo peleado.
Papi, tú te ves bien a mi lado. Contigo yo no miro para el lado. 5-6 te tengo dominado y todavía no hemos ni chingado.
Yeah, man, I can't get over just how celebrated this album should be for its musical elements. There's just such a cool blending of things, man. These big synths that are going on in there. All the electronic elements. Obviously, we'll find out who the female singer is. She's beautiful voice. And I was wondering if it's using perfume in the masculine as well. Because generally, you know, we have perfume for women, cologne for men, but I don't know if that's everywhere because I have heard of men or it reference what I would call cologne as perfume in other places. But that's generally just how we distinguish it, you know, in America, if not in other places in the world as well. When I go to a store, I'm looking for cologne, not perfume. But obviously the idea is like, when am I going to be close to you again, right? And then when I smell you, there's this, I'm drawn in, this desire, you know, that comes about. Let's go here first. Synth pop reggaeton. It tells the story of a relatively innocent courtship between two recent acquaintances. Contains the album's first feature. Puerto Rican singer-songwriter Rhinos. I don't want to say rhinos. Pronounced rye now, like pie now, rye now. All right, cool. So Rhinow's ethereal vocals throughout the track add to the mystery and intrigue of the lyrics, which use the symbol of new perfume to represent the literal scent of attraction to a new connection. And we did have the lyrics throughout, so I could, you know, see everything that was going on. But it creates this, if you ever saw, what was the series? I can't believe I keep forgetting about it. It was one of my favorite things I watched last year. Let's see. Video game Netflix series. Arcane. So if you watched Arcane at all, Arcane dance scene, it reminds me of how they did this scene. I won't spoil anything, but just if you've seen this, you know, and you can kind of get a picture of it, you know, through these right here. It's just this, how everything's kind of bokeh. Yeah, like blurred around the edges, all these lights and different things like that. And there's a little bit of blur happening everywhere. And it's this dark setting, and it kind of everything else around them disappears as they're moving and seeing one another. And it's almost like this dream type sequence, and there's no one else in the room. There are, but it feels like there's no one else in the room but them. That's kind of the vibe, you know, that it gives off. Okay, let's see if there's any other information to find out here. Okay. It says, unironically enough, the English translated title of this song is in fact New Perfume. Produced, okay, it's a name we've seen. Richie Lopez. Let's see, a lot of work with Bad Bunny. Some others as well. Selena Gomez. Camilo. But yeah, it is cool to see these names over and over, at least when we look at new names, see these people that have worked with Bad Bunny a lot. So he definitely has his kind of go-to people. All right, let's go to track 5, A Little Spin. I love this instrument. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the wooden block deal.
Te voy a dar una vuelta por la playita. Te voy a llenar de besitos la carita. Un día conmigo es lo que tú necesitas. Sonriendo tú te ves más bonita. Baby, te voy a dar una vuelta por la playita. Te voy a llenar de besitos la carita. Un día conmigo es lo que tú necesitas. Sonriendo tú te ves más bonita. Baby, yo sé. La vida es así, la vida es así.
Running these in reverse.
Ey, pero ponte el traje de baño, mami, que te voy a buscar. Te dejo mojadita, el sol te va a secar, sí, te va a quemar. Tú eres mi canción favorita, y en repeat te voy a tocar, ey, te la voy a aplicar. Quiero dibujar corazoncito en la orilla. Tranquila, mami, yo te cargo a la silla. Esos ojitos lindos, me encanta cómo brillan.
The gentleman, I'll carry your chair. I like that. How can a goddess be so down to earth? Ooh.
Yo daría lo que fuera. Tú me dices, si adentro o afuera, debajo del agua, nadie se entera. Baby, te voy a dar una vuelta por la playita. Te voy a llenar de besitos la carita. Un día conmigo es lo que tú necesitas. Sonriendo tú te ves más bonita. Baby, te voy a dar una vuelta por la playita. Te voy a llenar de besitos la carita.
Contigo me siento distinto. Hay algo cuando nos miramos y en el pozo nos dimos la mano. Así todo.
It's cool.
Cuando no estoy en la buena, tú me llevas a hacer castillos de arena y los castillos se convierten en aldeas. Un pueblito donde no existen problemas. Y ahí soñamos con un futuro. Que estemos bien, no hace falta mucho. Por un segundo nos olvidamos de todo.
I love the kind of stripped back because we're probably gonna go big.
Aunque sea de piquito, de piquito, de piquito, pim, 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 pim. Hay muchos mosquitos en la costa, baby, voy a ponerle un screen. Vamos a besarnos frente a la sudadita, el sol te da y eso brilla como bling, bling. Vamos a besarnos frente a la zona. Vamos a quedarnos por Maya, después te llevo a
Por eso
París.
es que me gusta ir contigo a la playita y llenarte de besitos.
Her parts are my favorite.
Y me juntito lo que yo necesito. Sonriendo tú te ves más bonito.
Man, this album is just so much fun. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious, you know, going to spend time together, spend time at the beach, then go other places, just enjoying one another. I think there are definitely some underlying things in what he's saying. Put on your swimsuit, mommy. I'm on my way over. I'll leave you soaking wet. The sun can dry you off. Yeah, you're gonna get burned. May not be more there than meets the eye, but if I had to guess based on Mr. Bad Bunny, Mr. Bad Bunny is a bit of a bad bunny. There's probably a little more going on there. It even talks about, like, you know, going underwater, no one will see us. Take your oxygen, thanks. Featuring the Puerto Rican musical group Chewy, WELTiTA combines tropical music with elements of hip-hop, the familiar reggaeton drums. The song's lyrics give both perspectives of a blossoming romance where talk of taking a quick trip down to the beach to build sandcastles is interlaced with flirtatious promises and a generous portion of innuendos. That's what I meant, innuendos. Yeah. I like the way this says, how can a goddess make it look so effortless? I do like the way it was translated in Apple Music as well. How can a goddess be so down to earth? Because obviously it's two, like, different things. Goddess being heavenly, but down to earth. Okay, let's see. Scrolling the wrong direction. WELTiTA. I could have pronounced that one. Should have gone for it. All right, this was the singer here. Yeah, other than like when the beat fully comes in and it's just a great dance vibe, her parts, man, where it was kind of stripped back and really just put her voice there and the way that she was kind of enunciating and everything, like it was really, really great. Digital Jet. Well, a lot of different producers on that one. Let's take a look at this artist real quick. Okay. So the group was created by siblings Willie, Lauren, and Wester Aldarondo, the Puerto Rican city of Isabela. This is her that was singing. Nice. Yeah, I mean, he's got some beautiful female voices on this album so far. Okay, let's see. Track 6, BELDÁ. The title is For Real.
Me diste follow y te di follow back. Me diste like y yo te di dos para atrás. Toma, al otro día me pusiste en los CLúB. Yo sé lo
Little social media love.
perdí en de espalda de lado o de frente. En todas las fotitos se ve bien, mami te lo doy ahora y después también. Subí un story cerca y que le llego a pie. Oh man, yo quiero que tú seas mi loba. Tú me tienes a mí en la cuerda floja. Oh, oh, si nos vamos del water te moja. Yo te voy a comer como una luz roja. Y dale, actívate. ¿De quién va a pagarlo hoy? Más olvídate. Tú te vienes, yo voy, dale, sígueme. Con ese culo embuste de anime, no de anime. Dale, actívate. ¿De quién va a pagarlo hoy? Baby, olvídate. Tú te vienes, yo voy, dale, sígueme. Esto es lo que estaba buscando. El mensaje
like there's a lot of innuendos. Freaky DM.
Vamos a verla, vamos a ver si es verdad. Bebé, vamos a ver si es verdad. Baby, tú lo haces como si supieras. Hasta tú te pondrías bella casi conmigo te viera, te viera. Ay, tú y yo nos vamos a ver, nos vamos a conocer. Vamos a bailar, vamos a beber, a bellaquear. Después coger, tú te vas a buquear y esto se va a joder. Vamos a terminar mal, sí, porque yo soy un problema y porque tú estás buena, pero yo tengo mi nena, la que no suelta, pero tú estás suelta, sí.
Oh.
Pero tú estás suelta, pero tú estás suelta. Ay, tú eres una pitcher, mami, pero yo me crié en la loma. Tú vas a soñar conmigo después que te la coma. Yo bajo pa' tu barrio, low, quien la Tacoma. O si no en la Lamba, en una movie cabrona. Ay, chequeate el AP y nunca se va de hora. Por eso ningún culo mejora. Embuste, estoy que te preño ahora.
Le llevo bien loca como una gringa en la perla. Baby, te he hablado, sí, un placer conocerla. Ando con Papo, con David, tú con tu girla. Y no sé si es la hierba, pero tú tienes ojos chiquititos, como si fuera don. Te pasé la lengua, como sellando el blon. Baby, tú te sueltas con un tequila y limón. Eso atrás bien grande, bebé, como una Yukon. Cierra los ojos y piénsame. Yo estoy bebiendo y también quemé. Ella quiere un mensaje que diga ven. Yo me paso mirando ese culito en internet, baby. Ese culo es de bichote y yo siempre quise ser bichote. Vámonos, donde no se note que cuando yo te azote. Vamos a ver si es verdad.
Vamos a ver si es verdad, vamos a ver si es verdad, vamos a ver si es verdad. Vamos a ver si es verdad, vamos a ver si es verdad.
Baby, tú lo haces como si supieras. Hasta tú te pondrías bella casi con mis ojos te viera, te viera.
Hey, bebé, a mí me dijeron que tú metes mano. ¿Quiénes son? Los que comandan una nueva generación. La Liga Multiplatino. Bad Bunny, Davey, Omar Kors. Tú sabes, los ídolos tuyos. Seguramente te estás preguntando cómo lo hacen. Tienen que apretar.
Ey, cerrar los ojos y piénsame. Ey, yo estoy bebiendo y también quemé. Ella quiere un mensaje que diga ven. Yo me paso mirando ese culito en internet.
Okay, pretty straightforward song, I think. I did like the section where it mentions them, Bad Bunny, Davey, and who was the other person that was on this? Omar Courts, and it was like, how are they going to do well or rise up or something? And it just says they have to go harder. Let's see. It's right here toward the end. Oh, okay, this says, so you know your idols, you're probably wondering how they do it. You got to step it up. Which I feel like is probably just speaking to them. Yeah, the multi-platinum league. Like, how are they going to be successful in today's landscape of music? Excuse me, it's just saying they've got to work harder. I guess when I was listening to it, I was like, this kind of to me is this Puerto Rican equivalent of like a Drake song. In the content, the things they're talking about, a little bit of the feel of it, but obviously it still has a very different flair to it. Okay, so this says, so reggaeton and trap, the first multi-artist collaboration of the album. BAILE features up-and-coming Puerto Rican rappers Davey and Omar Courts, or OC. The song is genuinely funny as it delivers tongue-in-cheek lines directed to a love interest who the trio only knows through social media and haven't ever met in person. After each progressively more horny verse as each rapper tries to outdo each other, the chorus repeats the refrain. We'll see if it's for real, which implies the trio and their love interest are talking some big game but aren't yet sure if any of the scenes they've outlined so explicitly via direct message are going to become reality, if and when they ever meet up. Or it could be like like equivalent to Bo Burnham's song "Sexting" from the film that he did Inside. You don't watch that, you should. It's hilarious. Sexting. That's all I remember. It's the next best thing, yeah. It's got a lot of ridiculous stuff in it. Okay, let's see. There's no other about info on this song specific. I was hoping we would get on Genius all of the rollouts, you know, the coordinates and things, which obviously, you know, we could go to another source to find, but it's not that big of a deal. But maybe we should, just to see what goes on with this one. Let me see. Let's see. Spotify coordinates. All Bad Bunny songs. Let's see. I'll bring you guys in here. Then we replace the titles. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I didn't recognize that's what they were doing. Is that all the titles looked like that. And then they switched out the titles. Excuse me. So, I wonder if there's a... I'm just kind of looking for a list of them. So maybe we could try a list of Bad Bunny coordinates on Spotify. "15 real world GPS coordinates." Okay, we have coordinates. We'll try here. If this doesn't work, we'll go back and just ask Google to give us the list. Okay, so this is everybody like in the middle of doing it. Can you tell me what all the coordinates ended up being? Let's see what you got. Okay, so this would be track 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one would have gone in San Juan. KLOUFRENS spray painted onto a concrete barrier. Okay, so a lot of them are just not necessarily like location specific, which I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I was thinking like the specific locations had to do it, even though I remember seeing it saying, you know, there were times that it was just like things on a sign or something like that. So most of it is like, okay, this is scribbled on the side of a delivery truck. Okay, the remaining 7 coordinates covered various iconic local spots, including public plazas, coastal roads, Bad Bunny's hometown. All right. Just curious. Sorry, a little side quest. All right, let's take a look at track 7. The CLúB. 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 A CLúB?
Yeah, 2 de la mañana en el club, todo el mundo pasándola cabrón. La mujer encima de mí, la juca, la pastilla y un blon. La que yo quiera dice que sí, bien loco cantando la canción. Después de aquí nos vamos pa'. ¿Qué estará haciendo mía?
I thought I messed something up.
Tiempo por ahí no se ve. ¿Será que ya me superó y le va bien? Mientras que yo, borracho, pienso.
Oh, this is interesting.
Haciendo mi ex. que hace tiempo por ahí no se ve. ¿Será que ya me superó y le va bien? Mientras que yo, borracho, pienso: ¿qué diablo estará haciendo? ¿Estará jangueando? ¿Estará durmiendo? ¿Estará fumando? ¿Estará bebiendo?
Very club.
¿Sola o está saliendo con otro que no
Very like techno vibe.
no soy yo? Mami, ese no soy yo. No soy yo. Aposté que te olvidaba y perdí 500. Otra vez me ganaron los sentimientos. Los muchachos piensan que yo estoy contento, pero no, estoy muerto por dentro. La disco está llena y yo la vacía, porque no está la nena mía con la que yo siempre me reía, con la que yo siempre me venía, con la que yo hablaba todos los días. Y ahora no sé nada, y ahora no sé nada. Ay, ¿qué estará haciendo mi ex? Que hace tiempo por ahí no se ve. ¿Será que ya me superó y le va bien? Mientras que yo, borracho, pienso: un pestañeo y ahora estamos aquí. 2020 la última vez que yo fui feliz.
That's so pretty.
2022 la última vez que yo te vi. La vida no me cumplió nada de lo que le pedí. No sé qué pasó, yo le pedí a Dios, pero él también me batió. El futuro me golpeó y en el pasado me dejó. La felicidad se alejó y me pregunto qué estará haciendo. Si en mí estás pensando, o si la luna estás viendo con otra persona conectando. Y si de mí le estás hablando.
No, probably not. Sorry, my friend. But maybe she's thinking of you too.
Pero aunque sea ser un buen recuerdo, ser un buen recuerdo.
Man, that one took me off guard a little bit. I thought that was really excellent. Kind of the different parts to it, but also he just paints this really great image of, it's like he's gone out with some friends, you know, to have a good time, probably meet someone else. But then you almost get this picture, especially because once it really hits that kind of techno vibe, it feels like the club, but you kind of get this picture of him in there just, even if he's dancing with somebody else, or maybe he's sitting in a corner or something like that, or at a bar, and he's not there, you know, his mind is somewhere else. All he can do is think about his ex. When he's in this place of meeting other people, there's one person that's not here. And then it talks about, you know, as he's drinking, he's thinking about it more, right? And kind of when it hits that midpoint of the song, or I guess there toward the latter third of the song, it almost has this like, does that like disembodied type effect, and moves almost from like the club into maybe his mind. And it even, I don't fully know, but it almost has this feeling of like a drunkenness, kind of everything slowing down as he's thinking about this thing. So I feel like it does pull us kind of out of the club into his mind. But I really love just that juxtaposition of a place where you're there to meet everybody else, but all you can do is think about the one person that's not there. Okay, so this says electroplena. Let's see. Maybe they're supposed to go together. Electroplena? Pronounced as electroplena. Nah. Okay. After 3 songs in a row that describe various stages of a new relationship, the club introduces us to Sad Bunny, as Benito can't get his mind off of his ex, despite being surrounded by beautiful women in a nightclub. The production is a combination of house, electronic music, and plena, a traditional Afro-Puerto Rican musical genre characterized by hand-framed drums called panderitas, or panderetas, a lively syncopated rhythm, and call-and-response vocals. The track also features some of my favorite vocals on the album, as Benito desperately sings about what his ex might be doing while he's out partying, thinking about her. Yeah, it's one of my favorite that we've come across so far. What is going on here? No bio. Man, the bios, the effort put in the bios kind of dropped off here in the middle of the album after these first, singles. But maybe the Spanish versions could be built out more, but I wouldn't be able to read them. Unless they are built out and the lyrics are in... Let's see. The lyrics might still be in Spanish, but the explanations and stuff may not be. Let's see. Yeah. See, they're all in Spanish. Oh, dude, there's so much going on here. Look, there are quotes and things from him. Man, I mean, short of me sitting here like copying and pasting all this and getting it to translate. That's annoying. Because this is the English translation one, and there's none of this information here. Okay. Maybe I can find a way to do something about that. All right. In the meantime, we're going to move over to track 8. Who do you think you are?
Yo ni sé nada pa' que tú estés así conmigo. ¿Cómo fue que terminamos siendo enemigos?
Feeling hurt.
Baby, si asume, yo estaba dándote castigo. Siempre he sido a fuego contigo. Tú no eras así. Cuando yo te conocí, siento que yo te cambié. Después que te lo metí, ahora te sueltas y sales para disco a perrear. Te olvidaste de mí, lo seguiste normal, normal. Después que te lo hice bien, ahora quieres portarte mal. Ay, travesita sin panty, escuchando vieras de plan B. Ay, chori, de llevarlo y Randy, subiendo story, toqueando como Cardi. Jugadito y ninguna dice Andy. Una muñeca buscando un AP, si no un Rolly, si no un Carti. Que me la chingue en el parking. Uña, eyelash, fotita con más flash. Si va a enseñarme ese culo que sea en persona, yo no tengo el nacha. Por la noche bebiendo tequila, por el día matcha. Ey, si no anda con Vero, anda con Nacha. Y si me escribe que está borracha, la maíz se pasa orando pa' ver si se recoge. Pero son las 11 y pa' la calle coge. Ey, muchos la piden, pero ella es la que escoge. Si me ves haciendo lo mismo que tú, no te enojes. Porque ahora te sueltas y sales pa' la disco a perrear. Te olvidaste de mí, lo seguiste normal, normal.
A switch up would be cool.
Ya ni te reconozco, bebé. Anoche a las 2 te llamé y estás hecha una malcría. ¿Qué carajo tú te crees? Conmigo no, yo fui el que te enseñé. Yo fui el que te enseñé a aplicarla como es, a frontear como es, a tirar chavo en el club, la juca y la moe. Que mucho yo te quería, pero ya tú no me caes bien, ya tú no me caes bien. Esta crecí en bicha, pero la tengo ficha. Yo que te di de todo cuando tú eras la ficha. Si me escribes pa' pelear, sabes que voy a pichar. Sigue rulita quicha. Ahora te sueltas y sales pa' la disco a perrear. Ahora te sueltas y sales pa' la disco a perrear. Ahora te sueltas y sales pa' la disco a perrear. Pa' la disco a perrear. Pa' la disco a perrear.
Yo soy celoso con mis sentimientos, entonces me encojona, me duele, me molesta mostrárselos a alguien que no lo merece.
Somebody's a bit pissed and hurt. Good news is I did find an extension for Google Chrome that does allow it to translate the page, so we can go back. We'll take a look at this song, maybe hop back through a few songs real quick and just see if there's anything that we missed, especially, you know, if we're able to get information like straight from him or straight from his team. That's my favorite information to get. So let's hop over here real quick. Continuing at the Sad Bunny section of the album, the track describes, a casual relationship that at some point turned toxic. Benito is left with feelings of resentment, confusion, due to how his former love interest, he claims he can't even recognize anymore, is treating him, despite swearing he treated her well. The more traditional upbeat reggaeton production provides a bit of a contrast to the pessimistic sentiment portrayed by the lyrics. Yeah, but it does also have, you know, kind of that dark, moody feeling in it, for sure. Okay, so let's see here. I want to make sure I'm in the correct ones now. Okay, I think everything is translated into English here. So let's go here. Okay, so yeah, it's translating it for us, which we won't really worry too much about using it for the songs because we already have that. And the songs are pretty easy to like get your arms around. So this, he sings about a woman who used to have a casual relationship, who has let the lifestyle he introduced her to go to her head. Oh, that's an interesting way to frame it too, yeah. Because he did say a lot of things in there, like, I taught you that. So he no longer likes her. That's what I was saying. That's where he gets pissed. Mad Bunny. So let's see. He said, it's a song I really love. I've had a special affection for it since it was first written. The thing is, it was one of the first songs I came up with. Then the album kept developing and I started creating other tracks. It's kind of forgotten for a while. It was like it got underrated, like we just didn't care about it anymore. But I remember when I wrote it, I was incredibly fond of it and listened to it all the time. Okay, some similar names there on the production. So let's hop back, excuse me, sorry, and take a look at a few of these, see if we missed anything. Okay, so he said the CLúB was the first single from this project. It was the first song we finished, and that's why it was the first one released. I remember when we made it, we were at camp working, and we had these two rhythms, one rhythm by Mag and one by Socks? I was basically writing about the same thing for both of them. Then it occurred to me to combine this rhythm with this other rhythm and finish it with this other rhythm. I wanted to add a plena teaser, and when the song came out, it was magic. We listened to it like 500 times straight, and the more we listened to it, the more we liked it. I love it because I have a very clear memory of that process. Man, getting in the car and playing it. I remember that when we made that song, we didn't do anything else for that day. It was like, dude, let's stay put. Let's enjoy this song. Then we'll continue working tomorrow. Let's eat. That's what we did. Let's see. As deciding how it would be the first single, he said it was also ready at the same time as the CLúB. It was a decision we made over several days, deciding which one we should release. I think the CLúB was a bit more reflective. It had this house-style instrumental, but at the end, it had a touch of plena. And it had that nostalgia that made it easier to connect with the production. Because that, then, KETU TeCRÉ, because that was a reggaeton track I've done before, and that was also a factor. I wanted to release something different. So we decided on El CLúB. Okay. Like I said, we're just going to take a quick second and go see if we missed any other things from him. Okay. This is how I did this last time. I said translate, and then I said translate full page. Nice. What did Bad Bunny say about the song? This is for VeLDÁ. It's been a while since a reggaeton track like this came out, kind of slow with that street vibe, that feeling of being out and about, man. That lust, that nightlife, going out to party, dressing badass, dressing well, wearing cologne, hanging out with your crew. Brother, these are the feelings this song conveys to me right from the start of the track. The collaboration with Davey and Omar Courtz. I've been wanting to collaborate with Davey for a while now, who's one of my favorite new school artists. And Omar Courtz, who's another one who's been a favorite of mine for a long time. I think the potential to be a star is there, and he's proving it with every song, every production with his album. And the collaboration between Davey and Omar Courtz is a sure thing. They've been collaborating for a long time, and all their songs always have great chemistry. So as the saying goes, kill two birds with one stone. What better way to take advantage of the opportunity to collaborate with both of them than by joining forces on a song, three of us? I think it's better than having separate collaborations on the album, since that's what the song is all about. It's like, let's hit the streets with the crew, with the guys. Called Davey, I called Omar, and we all piled into the car and drove around. That's how the song feels. And the experience of working with them was awesome. Man, Omar wrote like 30 verses, and they were all killer. The muse was there. You could tell he wanted to do a great job, and even that was hard, choosing the lines. Otherwise, the song could have been 10 minutes long, with everything Omar threw in. And in the end, I think it has everything it needed, and it turned out great. One of my favorites from the moment the preview came out. You know, as a person kind of hearing him talk about these things as well, I don't know much about Bad Bunny, but I have seen him in a few different skits on like SNL and things like that. And he is incredibly funny and seems like a really fun person to be around. And you kind of get that in these interview quotes from him as well. Okay, so this was on the previous track, WELTiTA. And I think if I do this... No, I just have to do this again. Translate. Translate page. Boom. Live in the future, baby. For a moment, I was sad, thought this song wasn't going to happen because I had the idea. I had the chorus in my mind, I had the rhythm I wanted, but it just wasn't taking off. After I'd already created the arrangement with Jay... Sorry, guys, I'm not... BAILE INoLVIDABLE, which I'm assuming is inevitable. I kept working with him on other things, and this was one of the tracks. And a couple of days later, I met with Jay again, and he told me, look, I worked on something with the song WELTiTA. Check it out, bro. I don't know what he did to it, but it started to sound amazing. I mean, it was a matter of details. That's when I said, okay, now I like the idea. Now I feel like it's real. And I dared to present it to Chewy because I had the desire to do a collaboration with Chewy. In their collaboration, he said I was really willing to work on something from scratch with them. When I met them in the studio, it was a really beautiful experience. They're super nice, really good, talented, but humble, kind-hearted kids. Listen to them talk. I identified with them so much. I'm a huge fan of their music, and seeing that there was a mutual admiration and respect. So it was really beautiful to see the process of how it all starts with an idea I have in my head, becomes a reality with Big J. We're not completely convinced. We keep shaping it. I like how it sounds. Then I take it to Chewy, and Chewy then turns it into a magical piece. It's a favorite song for a lot of people I know. For me, there's no way I can put this song on and it doesn't make me happy. I put it on, it makes me happy, takes me to the coast of Puerto Rico. The sun is coming out, the sky is beautiful, the waves are beautiful, everything is beautiful. All right, we won't go too far back. Maybe we'll let this be the last one here. Okay, PERFuMITO NUEVO is one of my favorite songs to listen to. I mean, when I'm chilling, when I'm alone, I like to listen to it a lot. I like the sound. I already forgot Reyno's, I think, voice and everything. I think she took that track and tore it apart, literally. She did whatever she wanted with it. And it's something I'm not going to forget. When I first heard her verse, it was magical. So the track turned out better than I expected. Ever since I heard Taney's rhythm, I don't know why, but I imagined Reyno on it. And then when it happened and I heard the result, I heard that she did a great job. It was like, wow, this song couldn't be better. The outro, the way it came about, us working in the studio and sharing ideas, was really beautiful. When I have a collaboration in mind, it's because I want to work with that person. If she hadn't thought it was a good song, or if this collaboration hadn't happened, I wasn't going to feature another artist. I would have preferred not to do the song. So I'm very happy that it happened and that it turned out beautifully. It's a song I really enjoy, and I hope you all enjoy it too. It's a song with a very special feeling that I don't even know how to describe. Very cool. Well, good. I'm glad we can kind of move forward in the album, you know, getting a good feel for, or like getting to hear things from him. So let's see. We are now in track 9, titled Pothole.
Seis PM frente al río, viéndonos los corazones.
I love this sound.
Las hojas cayendo, preguntas sin contestaciones. Mis sentimientos cambian como estaciones. Y aunque en PR todo el tiempo es verano, estoy pasando frío, escuchando estas canciones. Pensando en ti, pero no te emociones, porque no te voy a escribir. Guardero todo es quien más va a sufrir, no sé, pero ojalá que seas tú, ojalá que seas tú, pa' mí que vas.
Little Mad Bunny again.
Yo ni quiero competir, tú eres linda pero te gusta mentir. Quédate en tu viaje, que cuando aterrices nadie va a aplaudir. Ey, un día va a ponerte vieja, vas a mirar para atrás y te vas a arrepentir de que lo más real que has tenido en tu vida lo dejaste ir. Ey, ey, tú eres un boquete en PR, por eso es que te esquivo. Yo ni más poemas pa' ti, este es el último que escribo. A veces vienen los flashbacks, pillo chingando agresivo. Te iba a llevar pa' Maya y no llegaste ni a Recibo. La invitación de la playita se venció. Lo mejor de nosotros nadie lo vio. O quizás fue que la vida nos mintió y tocó decir adiós y vivir como vivía antes de conocerte, viendo fotitos tuyas, probando si soy fuerte. Las olas con el viento, los perros y la suerte. Tenía
Tenía miedo de perderte, pero no más que a la muerte. Y estoy vivo, gracias a Dios estoy vivo, eso es lo que importa. Yo me he enamorado 515 veces y contigo son 516. Eso no es nada nuevo. Toca seguir, pichar y olvidar. Y más adelante, si hay que enamorarnos de nuevo, nos volvemos a enamorar. Tú sabes que a mí me gusta estar así, enamorado. Pero yo ni quiero competir. Tú eres linda, pero te gusta mentir.
Well, I love when he does that.
Quédate en tu viaje, que cuando aterrices nadie va a aplaudir. Ey, un día va a ponerte vieja, vas a mirar para atrás y te vas a arrepentir de que lo más real que has tenido en tu vida lo dejaste ir.
Hey, this video and you want access to hundreds of hours of additional content from dozens of artists, then check out my Patreon. That's where we host music videos, live performances, exclusive live streams, behind the scenes content, documentaries, and you get the ability to help vote on the albums we listen to here on the channel. Patreon is the best way to support this channel, and you can get access to the entire library, past, present, and future for just $5. Join the amazing community that we're building over there, and I try to make it worth your time and your money. All right, let's get back into it. This is another standout on the album for me, man. Really interesting sound to it, really interesting lyrics. It's like a cross between Mad Bunny and Sad Bunny, and I don't have a good like rhyming name for it. It's just like Hurt Bunny. And so let's get in here. I mean, it's really kind of this ballad, right? You're this pothole that I try to avoid. Okay, electro pop Bachata. It's the third song in a row about a failed relationship. This time, Benito looks back with disgust at an ex that he now avoids just like a pothole. The song's lyrics can also be interpreted as social commentary about the powerful politicians and community leaders both inside and outside of Puerto Rico that put their own interests over those of the people. It contains a spoken word fourth wall break where Benito explains that he expects to fall in love again, despite his past history of heartbreak. I wonder if it's this idea of, could be commentary maybe on just in the sense of like the conditions of the roads. Okay, over here, let's see. It takes on two meanings in the song. On one hand, it refers to the woman and her role in Benito's love life, whom he sees as a bump in the road, an obstacle he's already overcome. On the other hand, it's a politically charged critique of Puerto Rico, since potholes are common on the island's streets due to poor or non-existent maintenance by the government. This was confirmed by Bad in an interview with the New York Times. He said there are many political lines that can't really be called political. This song is a love story, but the analogy of the hole is that in Puerto Rico, there are many potholes in the streets. It's not a song about potholes, but there are many things like that. Yeah, I remember I went on a trip one time to Jamaica. I'm trying to remember where we went. We were doing some work there, so we weren't like in the tourist areas. And it was just constantly avoiding like big holes. I mean, stuff that would jack your vehicle up. So it's possibly one of my favorites. The song is magic to me. The way it came about, it was one of the last ones I made. The feeling it has, the way I experiment with my voice, try to do different things. Yeah, for sure, that stood out to me. It's a sad song that in the end isn't so sad, because you're already sure of what you don't want, and you're sure of what this person lost. Like, you're not suffering for anyone. It's like, I know you're going to suffer for me. It's like, yes, I loved you. I would have liked to stay with you, but if you didn't value it, that's your problem, because I know what I'm like as a person. It's a feeling between sadness and the peace of mind that everything is going to be all right. Man, that little drop after the chorus, which is like a reggaeton bass line with the timbales. After that line comes the most real thing you've ever had in your life. You let it go. And then that happens. I see it as literally me leaving in my car. I left. You let him go, and I left in my car with the music. Then comes the addition of a little bit of bachata. This song has a really beautiful story, and I think that's why I like it. Everything means something in my personal life, and even the fact that it has a little bit of... I'm sure I'm butchering this. Bear with me one more time. I think it would be BOKeTE, right? Bachata.
Bachata.
Bachata, okay. And even the fact that it has a little bit of bachata, the aura it has, the type of music is kind of alternative. But at the moment, you don't know what you're listening to, what genre. Okay, a few new names on there, but some that we recognize. Yeah, man, that's the standout for sure. Okay, next up, KLOuFRENS, which means close friends. Ooh. I'm loving these almost like sci-fi synth sounds.
Diablo por olvidarte, si ya te vi sin ropa, poco hora de arte. Sé que prometí que iba a alejarme, pero como quieres que me vaya bien, si tú no me sacas de los close friends, me paso toqueándote pa' ver qué haces. Enchulado puede que se me pase, pero como quieres que me vaya bien, si tú no me sacas de los close friends, me paso toqueándote pa' ver qué haces. Enchulado puede que se me pase.
A lot of social media stuff in this album.
Si cuando estoy solo y prendo, lo que hago es pensarte. Mami, me dejaste hipnotizado, colonizado. Otra galla como tú todavía no he pisado. Ese tatito era bello, precioso, cute. Me dejaste enviciado, ey. Peli negra blondie, más tú eres la baby. Dando vueltas por la 11, escuchando a Davey, a Ozzy. Todo lo mío es tuyo, si quieres te doy la Ozzy. Quiero comerte esos labios closey, oh sí. Esto no tiene que pasar.
Nice.
No, pero veo el circulito verde y me vuelvo a ilusionar. Tú eres mala, tú lo haces.
I don't know what platform this is though.
Una player profesional. Total, esto no iba a funcionar, pero te veo y me vuelvo a ilusionar. Tú eres mala, tú lo haces intencional. A tu nombre me lo voy a lesionar. Normal, pero como quieres que me vaya bien.
I'm gonna rub one out for you. It's almost like I'm gonna pour one out for you.
Dime qué pasa, mi amor, que ya no me envía los buenos días por la mañana. Y en la noche antes de acostarte ya no me llamas. ¿Será que ya encontraste a alguien más y me cambiaste? Está cabrón como de tu vida ya desaparecí. Qué triste que termino así, que termino así. ¿Será que a otro ahora le cuentas tu día? Y lo haces reír con los chistes que tú me hacías. No tengo sticker nuevo, mami, porque ya tú no me lo envías. Te fuiste cuando más yo te quería, y ya nadie sabrá lo que tú y yo pudo ser. Qué triste no conocerás esa parte de mí que yo sé que te iba a gustar y nadie sabrá lo que tú y yo pudo ser. Qué triste no conocerás esa parte de mí que yo a nadie le suelo mostrar.
So you almost get a little bit of a lamenting in there of him saying like, we didn't, there are parts of me that I never really got to show you. You know, but similar themes to several of the songs that we've been in here, you know, centering around these relationships. It says the stylized and Latinized pronunciation of close friends. the Instagram feature that allows users can add certain of their followers to a close friends private group that gets access to additional posts and stories that aren't published to the rest of their followers or to the public. Okay, I didn't know about that feature. In the song, Benito laments the end of yet another relationship, but this time he asks how he's supposed to get over his ex. She won't take him out of her close friends. This track is the most sincere and vulnerable we've seen Benito to this point in the album. Yeah, and he yes, always says some of these things. Just makes me laugh. Okay, let's see. Go into here. Okay, the ultimate hit. Damn, when Taney sent me this track, the first thing I heard was the beginning. It said we have to do something with this song because there's no way it's not going to be a hit. I love when I get beats like this, where you just press play, they're already talking to you saying, do something with me, I'm a damn hit. It's funny, the same thing happened with El Club. Mag showed me a beat and I started singing things, which were similar to what I was doing with KLOuFRENS. Then I remember I had a verse and I hadn't finished it. So I started working on this other song, basically singing the same story. And I said, okay, let's put them together. And when we put them together, it was like, wow, they're one song. It's one of my favorites. Learn it in case I sing it live. Don't leave me alone. That's awesome. Yeah, so Mag is definitely the person he seems to go back to a lot. You left Benito, no kidding. Della Rose, oh yeah, because there was just a small section, maybe only one time it happened. Yeah, in the first verse when they sing together. That was awesome. Wonder why they decided not to do it more throughout. Okay, next up we have TURiSTA, which means tourist. Oh, nice. Okay.
Tú solo viste lo mejor de mí y no lo que yo sufría. Te fuiste sin saber el porqué de mi herida. Y no te tocaba a ti curarla, viniste a pasarla bien.
Oh, really flexing his vocals on this.
Pasamos bien. Una foto bonita.
I hope they keep it kind of chill on this one. I think that'd be a good piece to this album.
Una bailadita, tu cadenita de oro. Estuvimos tan cerquita, mirándonos a los ojos. Dime si viste la pena de mi corazón roto, que lleva así mucho tiempo, que lleva así muchos años, escondiéndome los sentimientos. Tengo miedo que me haga más daño. Y lleva así mucho tiempo, que lleva así muchos años. Ay, yo no sé mi amor, lo que la vida tendrá, para ti y para mí. Si se da, pues se da, y si no, pues también.
Oh, awesome.
La noche se puso bonita, pero no tanto como tú, jamás y nunca como tú. En mi vida fuiste turista.
Someone's killing it on the guitar.
Y no lo que yo sufría. Te fuiste sin saber el porqué de mi herida.
y no te tocaba a ti curarla. Viniste a pasarla bien y la pasamos bien.
I think they nailed everything on that one. The feeling, the emotion. He really got to stretch his vocals. It has this beautiful kind of nighttime, almost romantic dinner type sound to it. It's one of those that's like a lost love, but also recognizing like we did have a good time. I wish it was more, but I can't deny that we had a good time. And she was just this tourist in his life passing through. So in TURiSTA, Benito tells the story of a person that passed through his life just like a tourist, seeing all the best parts of him without ever getting to know the pain and suffering just under the surface. Unlike previous songs where Benito speaks about the past relationship with regret, confusion, even outright disdain, he doesn't blame this person for not healing his wounds because they just came to have a good time. While many of the love songs on the album can be interpreted to have a deeper meaning, this song specifically speaks directly to actual tourists who visit a place like Puerto Rico, see all the highlights, but ignore the issues that face the residents of the island. Well, that's an interesting, deeper look in there. Okay, let's see. Let's do our thing again. So furthermore, on Friday, January 10th, 4 days after the release, Benito told us during his interview on the podcast, El Bujo Loco, that the story and title of the song allude to a double meaning, comparing the brief relationship he speaks into tourists who visit a city or place like Puerto Rico looking to have a good time during their stay, but without delving into its condition, leaving aside all the problems that lie behind when it's time to return home. So this one led to Cagas, Puerto Rico, where we could see a kind of flag with the Spotify logo and the future name of the song. He said it's a song that I think can more or less remember where I was when I wrote all the songs on the album. But the day I wrote TURiSTA is etched in my memory. I like it because it's a beautiful song with a lot of meaning, a lot of feeling, for both suffering and feeling for someone, as well as feeling for your country. And I'm proud that it exists. Yeah, stand out. Okay, this next one, CAFé CON RON, means coffee with rum.
Por la mañana café, por la tarde ron. Ya estamos en la calle, sal de tu balcón. Por la mañana café, por la tarde ron. Ya estamos
Little party anthem.
sal de tu balcón. De Arecibo hasta Ponce, de Fajardo a Rincón. En la voz de todo un barrio, desde Almirante a Frontón. Por la mañana café, por la tarde ron. Ya estamos en la calle, sal de
Don't make me full shimmy.
que lo bailen en Lloren, que lo bailen en Canales. Hoy voy pa' la carretera con todas mis anormales. Por la mañana café, por la tarde ron. Ya estamos en la calle, sal de tu balcón. Hoy yo no quiero dormir, lo que quiero yo es amanecerme y beberme un galón.
I like the almost like beatboxing sound, but it also sounds like a pen on paper, like you used to do pen tapping on your desk.
No sé ni cómo yo llegué a casa anoche. Clase lo que era. Y hoy me están tirando de nuevo para bajar para allá, pero yo creo que hoy sí que ha hecho pichadera, que no me esperen, bro.
El humo empañó el camino y no
What?
pude
Dude.
recordar el camino pa' mi casa.
The album's so interesting.
Me vuelves a invitar. Yo me iba a quedar tranquilo, pero si quieres vacilar, sube tú pa' la montaña, porque hoy yo me quedo acá. Ven subiendo, que no le vamos a bajar. Sube tú pa' la montaña, hoy yo me quedo
being possessed.
Allá abajo, allá abajo, allá abajo, allá abajo. No se me ha perdido nada. Están arriba en el monte los códigos de verdad. Suban para acá para que vean. Ven subiendo, que no le vamos a bajar. Sube tú para la montaña o yo me quedo acá. ¿Qué se hace hoy? ¿Qué se hace hoy? Hoy se bebe y nadie nos va a parar. El samurái está en brillo y el combo va a chinchorrear. Ponle. Ven subiendo, ¿cómo? Ven subiendo. Dale para acá. Que no le vamos a bajar. Dale, vamos a bajar. Sube tú para la montaña o yo me quedo acá. Ey, ten cuidado, ten cuidado. Uy, cuando te toque bajar, que no te vayas por rico y te tengamos que buscar. Yo te voy a decir algo para que sepas. En el monte hoy se rompe, desde que sale el sol hasta que se esconde. En el monte hoy se rompe. Si ando como botando humo, dale, ponle. En el monte hoy se rompe. Suban pa' acá pa' que sientan el torque. En el monte hoy se rompe. Me voy a dar otra en lo que los muchachos hacen el corte.
Breath. Dude, okay, musically and thematically, one of the most interesting songs on this album. I don't fully know what's going on. It almost sounds like a type of a work day going up the mountain, but it also sounds like kind of partying. But then what does he mean when he says, well, they finished the cut? Okay, let's see. It features the Puerto Rican group. I was going to say, dude, that when you hear something that intricate, you're like, yeah, there's got to be another band involved. Not that he hasn't had great people doing all kinds of things on this album, which I want to celebrate all of the musical talent on this album. But when you hear something like that, you're like, dude, there's something special on there. So Los Pleneros de la Cresta, and is one of the coolest, most unique songs on the album. Hey, Benito takes a traditional folk genre, creates a modern sounding radio hit you could play in the car or at the club while drinking coffee in the morning or rum in the afternoon. Okay, and then let's see. Let's do our little trick here. Wish I could just leave it like this. So let's see. Tells us about, immerses us in how parandas are done in Puerto Rico, in turn relating to the jibaros and a genre that has lost exposure in the world, plena. Okay, let's see what this is. Parandas. It's a lively, festive tradition rooted in Latin American culture, best known as a surprise holiday caroling caravan in Puerto Rico, or a massive competitive street festival in central Cuba. So a holiday tradition where family, friends, and neighbors surprise loved ones late at night by showing up at their homes to play music. That's fun. They perform traditional holiday carols, instruments like cuatro. I want to know all the instruments that are used on this album. They're so cool. Okay, so it's a guitar-like instrument. And then this one, which I wonder, was that sound coming from maracas? Or I guess it was this thing. This is what I was talking about earlier. But that sound, is that coming from this? Or is that the maracas? Because it didn't sound like the, you know, like the ridges, but maybe if you do it fast enough or something like that, it has that more like sliding type sound on it instead of that kind of ridge, you know, wooden sound that you get. All right, really cool, man. So Puerto Rican parrandas are part of the Christmas tradition where families, groups of friends go from house to house. Okay, that's what we just read about. We see Bad Bunny with his team going to some houses to sing with the residents of the area here in this video. That's fun. It takes a cheerful turn from the start with a festive sound structure and design, perfect for recalling old traditions in the place. The song also alludes to the Puerto Rican custom of drinking coffee in the mornings, a more peaceful time, than going out to party in the afternoons or evenings, consuming popular alcoholic beverages such as rum. Okay. Bad Bunny said, man, this song is pure energy, pure joy, a party, pure pride. Every time I hear this song on social media, on TikTok, Instagram, on the street, it fills me with so much pride. You always make songs thinking about the big picture, that people are going to enjoy them. But it's not every day that you, or at least I, make a plena with this group of wonderful, talented people. It becomes an instant hit. In the predictions, those aren't the songs that people say, no way, man, that's going to be a worldwide smash. You know more or less where it's going to be a hit, but worldwide, to have the whole world singing along to a Puerto Rican plena, man, that's a whole different feeling. So this song is one of my favorites. It's another one that I also remember where it was born, at least the chorus. It was from the first time I went to San Sebastian Street in Puerto Rico. It's a very important cultural festival in Puerto Rico. And from the moment I had the idea to make this song, I didn't want to do it alone. I wanted to do it with a plena group that I felt could guide me in the right direction because I'd never done plena before. And that's exactly how I found Los Pleneros de la Cresta, whose music I'd been listening to for a while. I liked what they were doing, and it all came about naturally. We met, we shared, and they were truly amazing guys with an incredible passion, not only for music, but for culture and for the community, for contributing beyond music, for contributing something to future generations, and for positively impacting as many people as we could. It was also really wonderful working with them in the studio, meeting new people, and creating magic. This song is magic. Yeah, I agree. One of my favorite, just like, because the sounds are so interesting in it. All right, this next one, PIToRRO De COCO. Coconut PIToRRO.
Otra Navidad en la que te pedí. Otra Navidad que no está aquí. Feliz año nuevo, pero no tan feliz.
Oh, is it gonna go through the holidays? Okay, Christmas, New Year's.
Hace un año que yo estoy ahí. Hace un año tu primer abrazo fue solo pa' mí. Me tenías en las nubes y como un rayo caí. Y ahora ni una llamada, ni un solo mensaje. Los brothers me la montan. Dicen que estoy en un viaje. Son las 12:04 y ya estoy bien loco, llorando y bebiendo pitorro de coco que me trajo abuelo pa' que vacilara, no pa' que por un cuero a las 12 llorara.
So it should be a time of celebration, and he's mourning. I'm sure it's a festive, like, holiday drink for the new year. So there's that sound again.
Te pedí pa' los reyes y pa' Santa Claus. Los reyes picharon y Santa nunca llegó. Si tú no estás aquí fue que así quiso Dios. Siempre supe que era mala. No te creas que soy ciego. Yo cerraba los ojos y te besaba de nuevo. Con el doble 6 y doble 5 me trancaste luego. Tú y yo somos iguales. Nos veremos luego. Ojalá no conozca otra como tú. Tú eres mala, te fuiste como la luz. Como quiera me vino tu cara a las 12 cuando el año se acabó. Y me dolió que ni una llamada, ni un
you know, kind of has a similar vibe, not necessarily musically, but thematically to the club song, where it's like he should be in the club having a good time, but all he can do is think about her. It's coming into the holidays, into the new year, his family's gathered around, which again, we'll try to find out, but it seems like this festive drink that Grandpa brought for him to have a good time, and he's kind of being a downer on the party, which his bros, friends, you know, are kind of, like I said, giving him shit for it. But he kind of has that same thing, right? It should be a time of celebration, but all he can think about is that she's not there. Not even a call, not even a text. Dang it. So inspired by the Puerto Rican Christmas and New Year tradition of home brewing a coconut liquor called PIToRRO, this track once again features Sad Bunny singing longingly about his ex, who just 1 year ago spent the holidays in his arms. The instrumentation and production is a combination of multiple folk genres and traditional Christmas and New Year songs. Benito knows that his bros are making fun of him for spending his holiday reminiscing about his ex, but the particularly strong batch of PIToRRO his grandpa brought to the party is just making him more sentimental. Okay, let's see. These pictures are so ridiculous. I love it. I think it does just show his sense of humor in this. There is one thing in here. The 6 and 5, you blocked my game. Oh, an allusion to dominoes. Board games, part of Puerto Rican culture, perfectly complements the concept Bad Bunny wants to convey in the album. This occurs during a game when, despite there being tiles left in play and none being able to be placed, the player or pair whose tiles total the fewest points wins. Benito uses this metaphor to say that this person limited their actions within the relationship. That's cool. I heard it, I was like, I don't know what that's referencing though. Okay. Let's see. He said, it's possibly my favorite song on the album. I can say that about many songs, but this one truly is, because it's a song I never imagined I'd make. If making a salsa song was already unexpected, making a Jibaro song composed only of the Puerto Rican cuatro, a bongo, a guiro, and a bass, I never imagined that. Combining the themes it deals with modern events, the lyrics, the melodies, everything. And I think that also confirms for us that sound I keep hearing, the sh one, is coming from the guiro. The combination of the synth, the cuatro solo at the end, all of that makes it so that for some reason the feeling, the way I interpret it, I think it's my best performance on the whole album, vocally speaking, and in terms of feeling. All right. Next up, track 14. Lo que le pasó a Hawaii. What happened to Hawaii? You gonna make me go back?
Esto fue un sueño que yo tuve.
They've really been leaning into this instrument, you know, kind of here in the back half of this album.
Ella se ve bonita, aunque a veces le vaya mal. En los ojos una sonrisa, aguantándose llorar. La espuma de sus orillas parecieran de champán. Son alcohol para las heridas, para la tristeza bailar. Son alcohol para las heridas, porque hay mucho que sanar. En el verde monte adentro no se puede respirar. Las nubes están más cerca, con Dios se puede hablar.
It's like a love letter to Hawaii.
Pero llorando, otro más que se marchó. No quería irse por Lando, pero el corrupto lo echó. Y no se sabe hasta cuándo. Quieren quitarme el río,
y también la playa. Quieren el barrio mío.
Well, there's something deeper going on in this song.
No, no sueltes la bandera ni olvides el LLeVARTE, que no quiero que hagan contigo lo que le pasó a...
Oh, maybe to his country. Maybe him feeling like Hawaii was bastardized and he doesn't want his Puerto Rico to be the same.
Cuidado, Luis, cuidado.
The scents on this are so cool.
Aquí nadie quiso irse y quien se fue sueña con volver. Si algún día me tocara, que mucho me va a doler. Otra jíbara luchando, una que no se dejó. No quería irse tampoco y en la isla se quedó. Y no sé, sabe hasta cuándo. Quieren quitarme el río y también la playa. Quieren al barrio mío y que tus hijos se vayan. No, no sueltes la bandera ni olvides el LLeVARTE, que no quiero que hagan contigo lo que le pasó a Hawaii. No, no sueltes la bandera ni olvides
Oh, just booming.
que no quiero que hagan contigo.
So obviously I'm not very familiar with this genre of music, but dude, if I had to go out on a limb, I'm gonna bet that this is very progressive. Like, just hearing it from an outside perspective, I'm like, it sounds progressive to me. If you took a lot of the language and the sounds, you know, and put it in a different genre, and like a different language like English, and maybe changed up some of the sounds, even in that, if that makes sense, would sound very progressive. And he's just doing a lot of interesting things in this album. And thematically, this song is one of the most interesting to me because it's completely different than anything else on this album. And like I said, it does sound to me like maybe he has this feeling about Hawaii and some things that have happened there. Maybe I don't know if it's like turning it into just this main tourist destination and in some ways pimping out the Hawaiian culture for people that maybe he feels could be happening in Puerto Rico and he doesn't want that. So let's see. He's not asking what happened to Hawaii. He's comparing the plight of Puerto Ricans fighting against gentrification and neo-colonization to the historical circumstances of the island of Hawaii, which was once a sovereign kingdom before becoming a territory and then state of the USA. People of Hawaiian descent today account for less than a third of the residents of Hawaii, which this is very reminiscent of what was going on in the short film. And many of their traditions, including their language, are being lost over time. In this hauntingly beautiful song, Benito dreams or has a nightmare about a future Puerto Rico without Puerto Ricans, and desperately urges his friends and family to never let go of their Puerto Rican flag and the traditions that come with it. Frequently evokes strong emotional reactions from anyone who had to leave their place of birth due to economic pressure, violence, corruption, or other socio-political issues. Yeah, I couldn't put my words on like how to describe the way he's singing it or the vibe that it has, but I guess that kind of nightmarish vibes or this real longing or this lamenting is what comes through for me. They want to take away my river and the beach too. They want my neighborhood and for your children to leave. Don't let go of the flag or forget the LLeVARTE. Both Hawaiian and Puerto Rican are tropical archipelagos. I want to know what the LLeVARTE is. Let's see. In the case of Hawaii, the native inhabitants were displaced from their homes, eventually ending up living in shacks or on the streets. In Puerto Rico, local and federal public policies have historically attempted to achieve the same outcome. So much so that in a private chat, a former governor, publicist Edwin Miranda, said the following: "I saw the future, and it was wonderful. There were no Puerto Ricans." Yikes. Secondly, the struggle for natural resources and access to beaches has become a major issue in recent years, facing a wave of foreigners arriving with tax benefits and exemptions. These foreigners try to buy and privatize these resources for themselves, displacing Puerto Ricans. In Bad Bunny's song El Apocon, Gabriela Berlingeri sang about the very issue. "I don't want to leave here. I don't want to leave here. Let them go. What belongs to me, they keep. Let them go. This is my beach. This is my sun. This is my land. This is me." Thirdly, the LLeVARTE is a traditional Christmas carol from Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny calls for keeping Puerto Rico's identity and idiosyncrasies alive, comparing the importance of preserving cultural traditions like LLeVARTE with the need to protect Puerto Rico from external forces that threaten its life and essence, just as happened with Hawaii and the colonization by the United States. The first verse of the last track on the album, La MuDANZA, Benito mentions the flag, referring to how in 1948 Law 53 was passed, which prohibited the display and possession of the Puerto Rican flag. People were killed for waving the flag. That's why I carry it everywhere I go now. Motherfucker, that's what's up. Or what's up. It's so funny. So what is this? In 1948, Law 53. This was passed in Puerto Rico? Hold on. Law 53, Puerto Rico. So Law 53 of 1948, also known as the Gag Law, was a statute enacted in Puerto Rico to suppress the island's growing independence and nationalist movement. So U.S. appointed Governor Jesus Pinheiro, it criminalized owning or displaying the Puerto Rican flag, singing patriotic songs, speaking or writing in favor of independence, and holding political assemblies regarding sovereignty. Police and authorities could enter homes, search property, and seize belongings without a warrant or probable cause. Violators faced up to 10 years in prison, a $10,000 fine, or both. The law was repealed in 1957, almost 10 years later, after being challenged as a violation of free speech and unconstitutional under the U.S. Constitution and the Constitution of Puerto Rico. So, I mean, who is behind putting this in place? Or was it just a different... Because it almost sounds like... Was it U.S. backing for it? But then it seems like it was U.S. backing to say, like, hey, this isn't constitutional. So did it have to do with who was president at the time? 1948, 1957? What do we say? 1948. Harry Truman. And then 1957, Dwight Eisenhower. Which maybe they don't have anything to do with it. You know, short of going into a deep dive here, let me know in the comments if you have a little bit more background there. That's interesting, man. Okay, so he takes us back to a historical event referring to the loss of identity suffered by Hawaii due to American businessmen linked to the sugar industry who acquired large tracts of land. This influenced local politics led to the overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy in 1893 with the support of American interests. This led to the marginalization of the language in schools and government, where it was replaced by English. Similarly, the arrival of Christianity in American policies promoted the abandonment of indigenous spiritual cultural practices. It's the story Benito rejects, as he wants to keep Puerto Rican culture intact and highlight it even more with this project he presents. He says, "This was a dream I had. That's why I mentioned it at the beginning of the song. I don't remember ever dreaming about a whole song from beginning to end. That kept me up all night. I mean, I remember the place, the time, everything. I could even smell the air when I wrote this song. I'd be awake 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I'd have this song in my head. I tried to go back to sleep, but I couldn't. So I'd write it all down in the notes app on my phone, and then I could go back to sleep. The next day I'd wake up and say, damn, what was that? Like I'd written a whole song. And to have everything in my head, the melody, the tune, how I wanted it to sound. It's a very special song. When I wrote it, I was obviously thinking about Puerto Rico. And seeing how Latin America and countries all over the world identified with this song was huge for me personally. Seeing people singing it, other artists, is something that fills me with so much pride. I could spend all day talking about this song, but I wanted you to listen to it and feel it with me. What happened to Hawaii?" Really interesting. Yeah, and like I said, even without really knowing all of that, it was just from what I could tell, I was like, oh, there's something deeper going on here. And I could, even though I didn't know the specifics, I could tell, you know, what he was kind of referring to. And it is one of the most intriguing songs on the album, for sure. And a big swing, you know, from many of the other things we've experienced on this. Okay, this next one is EO. And it says a play on the second half of the word perreo, which is a subgenre of reggaeton characterized by close-up partner dancing featuring grinding rhythmic hip movements and twerking. Here we go.
Ella viene por ahí y nunca llega sola. Ella nunca llega sola. Todos los bandidos sueltan las pistolas. Esta noche lo que hay.
He's like, I gotta switch up the mood. Yeah, I was gonna say, very much like a club anthem.
Yo se la mamo y se pone contenta. Esta Willy ahí ya cumplió los 30. Después de las 12 no los cuenta. No la llamen el jangueo si no quiere que mienta. Estoy escuchando el número 1 en venta. Por eso con nosotros nadie inventa. Me siento como un bichote en los 90. Lo tengo parado, ven pa' que lo sienta. Dale mami, pégate. Tírate. Si me miras mucho sabes que voy a besarte.
All right, because it's all about bumping and grinding.
Si te beso y me lo agarro, entonces voy a llevarte.
Mira, puñeta, no me quiten el
Mami, yo sé que tú te vuelves loca cuando el perreo te azota.
Got a lot of these switch ups in the album.
¿Te acuerdas de mí si me ves por ahí? Mami, yo sé que tú te vuelves loca cuando el perreo te azota. Pero obligado tú te acuerdas de mí, de cuando te di. Perreo, baby, tra, baby. En la disco, baby, vamos a darle, baby. Hasta abajo, baby, no te quites, baby. Bellaqueo, baby, tú y yo solo, baby. Perreo, baby, tra, baby. En la disco, baby, te lo meto, baby. Aquí mismo, baby, delante de tu baby. Te compro la BM y también el AP, ey. Te doy dedo bailando, mami, estoy testy, ey. Tráete tu vesti, que a las 2 le bajamos el panty. Rompiendo la calle desde los 20. Anda cazando, no está dating. Rompe la calle siempre que sale. Mami, tú estás fit, volan verte los abdominales. Rompe la calle siempre que sale. Me gusta porque tú y yo somos iguales. Siempre queremos perreo. Estamos envueltos en el bellaqueo cuando nos ponen perreo. Ey, no me ronquen cabrones que acá no los veo. Estás escuchando música de Puerto Rico, cabrón. Nosotros nos criamos escuchando y cantando esto.
En los caseríos, en los barrios, desde los 90 hasta el 2000 por siempre. Y ando con el mable de los tiempos, Tiny. Y yo no tengo que roncar, ustedes saben ya. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bad Bunny vibe. Bad Bunny vibe. Tiny, tiny. Tiny, tiny. Chequeate la historia.
I wonder if him saying check the stories has any connection to Instagram, because he's mentioned Instagram a lot, you know, throughout this album. Obviously, though, this song, a celebration of the dance style, of the sound, a club type anthem. So this says, right after Benito made us cry, he implores us to shake some ass with an absolutely disgustingly good club banger of pure, unfiltered, uncut perreo. This song won Best Global Musical Performance at the Grammys for the live version performed at each stop of the DtMF World Tour. It's going to be fun watching the live performances and stuff. Featuring production from Tiny, who had Bad Bunny calls the best of all time. This track is a true homage to the heavy bass grooves, mid-tempo bounce of underground reggaeton from the early 2000s. In other words, the music Benito was born in 94, grew up listening and singing along to. It's vulgar, brash, absolutely addictive, and one of the best songs in all of Bad Bunny's discography. Is there a better way to deal with our own emotions and all the impossible problems we face in the world than hitting the dance floor with a stranger and getting sweaty? Well, as a married man, I don't think my wife would appreciate that, but it would be fun to dance with her. And otherwise, you know, I'm just dancing here alone in my office as a man who's very close to 40. Okay, let's see here. Do our little translate. Let's see. The first chorus contains a sample, or features a sample of Hector and Tito's Perreo Baby with the typical heavy beat that characterizes the essence of old school reggaeton. Okay, let's see what he says. It's an amazing song. This is reggaeton. This is Perreo at its finest. Honestly, when I listen to this song, all I want is to sing it live. But back in 2001, you know, where there were no cell phones, where everyone was dancing, was Perreo and dancing, and not thinking about anything but enjoying the moment, it was one of the last songs recorded. But this track has been around for a long time. Tiny sent, it to me a while ago, and I remember I had them add the sample of Tito El Bambino's Perreo, the Tra Tra Baby, Sobatio Baby stuff. The verse I had written at the time, I wasn't convinced. I recorded it, and it didn't convince me, and I just left the song there. I never touched it again. I'm talking easily 2 years ago. This song could easily have been for A Summer Without You, but what happens? I didn't feel it at that time. Didn't feel the verse I wrote at the time. I didn't feel the intro, so I didn't even finish it. I didn't record it. Given the experiences we were having in the recording studios while we were finishing the album, what was playing was a lot of 90s reggaeton and early 2000s reggaeton. And that's where the inspiration came from. And I said, we have to do a song like that. Then I remembered that track Tiny had made for me a long time ago. And that's where I wrote another whole song. Then we combined it with the second part that came from there. We already had the reggaeton beat there. Now we had to take it to the more melodic chords. Man, and when that song was finished, it was like, damn, it was a peak moment for this album. I believe that after performing such an important, emotional, and sad song as What Happened to Hawaii, only one song could lift our spirits and raise our energy again. And that song was Io. As I say at the end, music of Puerto Rico. This is a sound that was created here in the barrio and in the housing projects. There has always been a lot of controversy about where reggaeton comes from. Many countries are involved, and there are influences from other genres. But the sound that is known worldwide today as reggaeton is Puerto Rican culture. There's no way to hide or deny it. Reggaeton music is a part of Puerto Rican culture. Well, yeah, it'll be fun to see that live. Okay. This next one, which is the title track for the album, I should have taken more pictures.
Otros 11 bonitas que veo en San Juan, disfrutando de todas esas cosas que extrañan los que se van, disfrutando de noches de esas.
The things people miss when they leave,
Que ya no
that don't come often. That's cool. That's really beautiful.
A la última vez, ya los ojos te miré y contarte las cosas que no te conté.
¿Te parece a mi crush?
Y tirarte las fotos que no te tiré.
Hacho brote, bien linda, déjame traerte una foto.
Ey, tengo el pecho pelado, me dio una mata, el corazón dándome pata. Dime, baby, ¿dónde tú estás? Pa' llegarle con Roro, Julito, Cristal, Roy, Edgar, Seba, Oscar, Darnell y Big J tocando bata. Hoy la calle la dejamos es barata.
Y sería cabrón que tú me toques el guiro.
Yo veo tu nombre y me salen suspiros. No sé si son petardos o si son tiros. Mi blanquita, perico, mi kilo. Yo estoy en PR tranquilo, pero debí tirar más fotos de cuando te tuve. Debí darte más besos y abrazos.
Oh, I love this.
Ey, ojalá que los míos nunca se muden. Y si hoy me emborracho, pues que me ayuden. Debí tirar más fotos de cuando te tuve. Debí darte más besos y abrazos, las besos.
That's a great melody.
Ojalá que los míos nunca se muden. Y si hoy me emborracho, pues que me ayuden. Ey, hoy voy a estar con abuelo todo el día jugando dominó. Si me pregunto si aún pienso en ti, yo le digo que no. Que mi estadía cerquita de ti ya se terminó. Ya se terminó. Ey, que prendan las máquinas, pues pasan dulce. Aquí todavía se da caña, chequeate la baby. Diablo, mami, qué dulce. Hoy yo quiero beber, beber, beber y hablar mierda hasta que me expulsen. Estoy bien loco. Bien loco, cabrón, guía tú que estás caminando, yo estoy que choco. Estoy bien loco.
Even if I'm walking, I think I'll crash.
Vamos a disfrutar que nunca se sabe si nos queda poco. Debí tirar más. Gente, los quiero con cojones, los amo. Gracias por estar aquí, de verdad. Para mí es bien importante que estén aquí. Cada uno de ustedes significa mucho para mí. Así que vamos para la foto, vengan para acá, métase todo el mundo, todo el corillo.
That's so sweet.
Zumba. Ya Bernie tiene el nene y ya en la nena. Ya no estamos para la movie y las cadenas. Estamos para las cosas que valgan la pena. Ey, por el perreo, la salsa, la bomba y la plana. Chequéate la mía, cómo es que suena. Debí tirar más fotos de cuando te tuve. Debí darte más besos y abrazos las veces que pude. Ojalá que los míos nunca se muden y que tú me envíes más nudes.
That was so great, man. That honestly would have, I felt, served really great as an album closer. So I'm curious to see what they do as the album closer, because it is such a celebration. And I loved the using of kind of the live band. I think it was a great touch. Because obviously you have the parts where Bad Bunny's singing it, but with the group singing it, it's just a whole different element to it. It makes it feel like a party. And then I love them leaving it at the end, them just saying funny stuff, you know, send me more nude pictures. But then the guy continuing to sing, it just sounds so fun. Okay. He has a really great way of talking about these times, like when they're no longer together. Because what did he say? Said something about like we're no longer standing next to one another, which I know is a very simple thing. What did I say? Oh man, I think it's further up here. And this fireworks and gunshots, I feel like they alternated actual fireworks and gunshots, like pop, 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 pop. It could just be fireworks, but it would make sense, and that's really cool detail to add in there. Actually, why don't we hop in here real quick and just check that part out again. Did this go over to the next song? Hold on, let's do this. Okay, so we should be in this. Oh, I love this part. Enjoying those nights that don't come often. Let's see, a beautiful sunset, enjoying all those things people miss when they leave. Enjoying those nights that don't come often, which is so good because you can think about anywhere that you live. You only get to see some of the most special elements if you're there all the time, right? I used to do a lot of running, like a lot of running. And so I've ran all the streets in my town, like miles and miles out. I've, you know, put together half marathon routes I used to run every single week, like into all these different areas. I found every trail in my city that's like the city has cut out for water mains and stuff. Because I love trail running. So I've found miles and miles of just random trails. Like I know where everything connects in my hometown. And I used to love running it through all the different seasons because I would try to pay attention to the different foliage that was growing and just all the minute details that you only get to see if you see something over and over, you know, through all the different seasons. And so I love him painting that picture of like living there and getting to really know the place, not just kind of the tourist vibes. But I want to see, which we might come across the other line I was thinking about. Let's see. Firecrackers or gunshots. Let's listen to this section.
No sé si son petardos, si son tiros. Mi blanquita, pero
I don't know.
no sé si son petardos, si son tiros. Mi blanquita.
It does. It sounds like they're alternating the gunshots and the fireworks, which, if that's the case, really cool detail. Okay, I can't find the line I was thinking about. Oh, here it is. I'll say my time next to you is over. Again, man, a very simple line there, but he says several things like that throughout the album, and it just paints such a good picture of this idea of being next to somebody, but my time next to you, not my time with you, my time next to you is over. Okay, and then our document here says, without a doubt, biggest, most commercially impactful song off the album, sparked multiple TikTok trends, topped the charts in more than 30 different countries. It became the 4th Spanish language song to reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, set a new record with 57 weeks at the top of the Billboard Hot Latin Songs chart. Excuse me. It's a nostalgic and heartfelt song with what can only be described as Nintendo-inspired beats and the occasional choir chant. The lyrics reflect Benito's personal regrets that he didn't take more pictures of loved ones or periods of his life when he had the chance. Whether we've lost a family member or friend, had to move away from home, or simply missed the way things used to be, this song resonates on a musical and emotional level like few others I've heard. Okay, and let's go in here. Okay, let's see. It says it has so many different feelings. It has nostalgia, it has happiness, it has sadness, it has a party vibe. It's chill, it's calm, but it's everything you need. It was the last track we made, literally. The last track we recorded. I remember Mag showing me the beat. We already had the melody, and after we'd gone out partying, he showed it to me again, but with the full rhythm, and I said, wow, what are we gonna do? I have to deliver. I still have tracks to finish in terms of production. My mind is really busy. I don't have time to write another song, much less record it. He said, no, I know the muse will come to you. Sure enough, 2 days later, I wrote the song, recorded it. It was the last song recorded. Even though the album already had that name, and I was planning to do a song with that title, I hadn't done it yet, and I'd already given up. I'd already said something like, look, there doesn't really have to be a song named after the album. It's not mandatory. And then this song came along at the very end, clutching the name, the meaning, the feeling of what the album's about, and boom. It's a song the whole world embraced and made their own. Man, that's beautiful. Almost makes me want to cry reading that. Just thinking from an artist's perspective, you know, this feeling of giving up is just like, it's fine, we can call the album that. I don't have to have a song by that name, and that's so very true. But to feel like it comes together and then it's such a huge song and just accomplishes everything that he wants had to be such a great feeling. He said, if you asked me the night before the album's release which song would be the most listened to or the most successful song on the album, I honestly wouldn't have even mentioned this song in the top 10. Not because I don't like it, because it's not the norm. When you study the business, the industry, what's happening in music, it's not the typical song that's going to be a hit. You can think of any other song, reggaeton tracks like those ones, but a fusion track with Plena, a sentimental song, almost 4 minutes long, you don't think it's going to reach #1 globally. You don't think it's going to impact the whole world, and that the whole world is going to embrace the song and make it their own. You don't imagine it. I certainly didn't, and I think that's one of the most beautiful gifts that music has given me. That just goes to show that people need music. The world's asking for soul, heart, different themes in music, things that are genuine too. This song doesn't have a genre, it's urban with plain influences, but it has sounds that could resonate in the alternative scene. You don't know what I'm singing about. I'm singing about love, then I'm singing about my country. It's like different aspects of my personal life in a single song. And it's a great summary of what the album is about. Different aspects of my personal life, different themes that affect me. Sometimes you don't know where to begin. Well, yeah, 100%. That's why I was saying it would be a great closer. So I'm really interested to see what they do there. Mag, man. Mag is his man. Okay. Let's see what happens here. La MuDANZA, the moving job.
Benito, hijo de Benito, le decían Tito, el mayor de 6, trabajando desde chamaquito, guiando camiones como el pai y el abuelo. Aunque su sueño siempre fue ser ingeniero, un día Tonito lo invitó para hacer una mudanza, para buscar salguito, par de pesos, para algo alcanza. Gracias a Dios que ese día no estaba bici, porque en la mudanza fue donde conoció a Lizzy, la menor de 3 que se criaron con doña Juanita, porque su papá y mamá partieron estando chiquita. Prometió graduarse antes de casarse y lo cumplió diciembre del 92. Con Tito se casó antes de irse para el Mirante, donde se conocieron, vivieron en Morovi, en donde hicieron al nene, que en Bayamón por primera vez vieron. Un aplauso pa' mami y papi, porque en verdad rompieron. El mejor de la nueva porque me crié en la vieja. Gracias a mami y papi por todos los jalos en la oreja. Nunca me han visto en la calle ni en los podcasts ando queja. Tratan de medir fuerza y no pueden ni en pareja. Calle sol, calle luna, estrella en la noche oscura. Yo no canto reggae, pero sí cultura de Borinquen, PR, archipiélago perfecto. En el mundo entero ya conocen mi dialecto, mi jerga. A mí me importa un bicho lo que a ti te vale verga. Aquí mataron gente por sacar la bandera. Por eso es que ahora yo la llevo donde quiera, cabrón, ¿qué fue?
This is a pure love letter to his home and to the progressive nature of what he's doing.
Que nunca olviden mi rostro y pongan un tema mío el día que traigan a Otto. En la caja la bandera azul clarito y que recuerden que siempre fui yo, siempre fui Benito. Meterle más que yo, tú eres loco. Cabrón, tú eres loco. Lo que tú digas, me importa poco. A mí me quieren como a ti, y soy serio como Coto. Lugia, ho, ho. Cabrón, yo soy legendario. La meto con cojones y con ovario. Millonario sin deber de ser del barrio.
Like he connects with men and women.
Aprieta, chamaquito, aprieta.
aquí nadie me saca, de aquí yo no me muevo. Dile que esta es mi casa, donde nació mi abuelo. De aquí nadie me saca, de aquí yo no me muevo. Dile que esta es mi casa, donde nació mi abuelo. Yo soy de fucking R. Yo soy de
Puerto freaking Rico. Pure kind of braggadocious track, not just for himself, but where he's from, you know, celebration of his parents and his heritage, but also the changing, right, kind of way he uses the language and things like that. Oh man, yeah, an explosive close. And like I said, I think the last track would have fit perfectly fine, but I understand this one as well is just a totally different feel and kind of going out on a bang. So this says, it's my favorite song on the album, and this is from the person who provided this document, tag. In my opinion, one of the best album closing songs of all time, regardless of era, genre, or language. The track starts with Benito reciting a poem about how his parents, Tito and Lizzie, met, fell in love, got married, brought him into the world. What happens after that can only be described as a sonic experience unlike anything else I've ever heard. The song is personal, political, audacious, beautiful. Can hardly listen to it without having strong emotional response. The final triumphant refrain that's repeated at the end of the song is a callback to Bad Bunny's 2020 song, PFR. But this time, 5 years later, instead of simply bragging about where he's from, pronounces that he's not only from Puerto freaking Rico, but he's here for Puerto Rico. And he's never going to leave his country, no matter what. It also reminded me when they said Zumba in one of the previous songs, it was translated "Let's Get It," which I never thought of because I've heard of like Zumba classes, and I just assumed it was kind of this word that didn't necessarily have a whole lot of meaning, but it makes sense. A Zumba class, if it's "Let's Get It," it is this high intensity kind of dance workout thing. So that was cool to see as well. All right, let's get in and see what he says. Oh, there's no final comment from him on this song, at least over here on Genius. Okay, no problem. All right, well, let's talk some closing thoughts. Obviously, you know, this one was a challenge for me to just navigate, not so much like listening or grasping the lyrics or anything. I think it was kind of the hopping back and forth and trying to get all this stuff. But I think we made it. I think we did a pretty good job. Hopefully, you know, you don't hate my pronunciation too much, but I learned a lot. Hopefully you picked up a few things along the way. But man, musically, like sonically, dude, it should be celebrated. And like I said, I think it is celebrated. It's triumphant musically. So many different things brought in here from so many talented people. And, you know, a lot of the songs had really cool meaning to them. You know, there were those lines that I kept. His ability to paint certain pictures, really great, man. I loved hearing his perspective on things. You could tell he had a lot of fun. Also, I'm sure it was very stressful as he shared on several things, but it seems like he had such a great team around him to just bring the best out of him, the best out of this music. There's some really heartfelt stuff in here, really celebratory things, some critiques on culture and governance. And so absolutely loved this. And I'm really looking forward to the music videos and live performances. I think they're going to be off the wall and in a good way. And especially now, you know, I'll be able to kind of see, because I didn't watch the Super Bowl performance. And so being able to see that and have a little more connection here and things. I think that'll be really cool as well. So let me know your thoughts on the album. Again, this one comes to us on behalf of the Patreon community because they help vote on albums we listen to on Mondays and on Wednesdays. But we have hundreds of hours of additional content from dozens of artists over there. We'll work to get the stuff up. From this album, we'll have the short film up, pretty quickly because I already did that before this. But looking forward to getting the other things up there. And so, yeah, share your thoughts with me. Fill in any blanks that I missed. We'll have a good conversation in the comments. Thanks for hanging out with me for this one. Hope to see you in another one because we're eating good.